Good morning and welcome to the fourth and final day of the 2017 American Legion State Baseball Tournament here at CHS Field in St. Paul. This is the third place game. The winner of this contest between Eden Prairie and Tri-City Red will take on the Ham Lake Heat in the championship game scheduled for 1 o'clock. Eden Prairie is 4-1 so far on the tournament, starting out with a 4-3 victory over St. Michael, then crushed Stillwater 10-1. It was a 1-1 tie. They scored 9 in a row. Lost to Ham Lake, surprisingly 10-2, and then came back to beat Excelsior and Waconia. We'll go over the batting order here for Eden Prairie. Leading off, shortstop Zach Elliott, batting second, center fielder Mike Espy, then third baseman Will Paul. Batting fourth is second baseman Connor Kale. Batting fifth, having an excellent tournament, first baseman Connor Young. Batting sixth, left fielder Mitchell Olson. Then right fielder Colin Ferris. Batting eighth, catcher Joey Danielson. And surprisingly, batting ninth, the DH. You don't see that too often. Coming back from his freshman year of college, Trevor Davinsky. Defensively for Tri-City Red, first base is Justin Langer. Second base, Joey Lawson. This is their usual lineup. Shortstop, Ryan Nickel. Third base, Ross Indelkoffer. Left field, Ben Jepko. Center field, Jeff LeMay. Right field, Eric Holloman. Catching today again is Nate Fredrickson. And on the mound, Ty Kane. Ty pitched in the game against Eastview, pitched 4 innings, and so he is eligible to come in today. He gave up 5 hits, 1 run, walked 2, and struck out 3. Eden Prairie going with a little bit of a surprise. Matthew Lamberty, again, due to pitch count limits, 5 starting pitchers for Eden Prairie cannot throw today, and it is a similar situation with Tri-City Red. 4 starters and 1 reliever cannot pitch today as well. This is Zach Elliott, batting .389 on the tournament, .560 on base. And this is quickly hit into the gap in left center. That'll get by Jepko and go for extra bases. Rounding second and holding up at second is Elliott with a stand-up double. So this will bring up Mike Espy. He's having a whale of a tournament, .619 with a double and 2 runs batted in. His on base is .680. And that one's across for a strike. Elliott on the season was hitting .269, so he's really stepped it up here in the Legion State Tournament. Espy on the regular season hit .312. Eden Prairie came out of a very strong Sub-State 10, and of course they were the 4 seed in their section in high school baseball and ended up going through to winning the state tournament. So it's now 1-2 here to Espy. Again, the home team is predetermined. It isn't a coin flip or a higher seed or anything like that. So the loser of Ham Lake and Red knew that they were going to be the home team this morning. That took place very late last night, starting Sunday at around 8 o'clock. And they are going to call a balk on Canes. So an auspicious start here for Tri-City Red. Red lost a tough one to Ham Lake, which is all of the Blaine High School kids, 4-3. And that balk ends up costing, Elliott would have gone to third on that anyway, but he ends up scoring on the 4-3 ground out, and Espy will get it a run batted in. Tri-City Red uncharacteristically made 4 errors in the winners bracket final. as that one's across for a strike. And that led to 3 unearned runs, which was certainly the difference in the game. This is slapped to left, a smart piece of hitting there by Will Paul. Will hitting .304 on the tournament so far. So this will bring it the cleanup hitter, Connor Kale. He leads the team with 7 runs batted in. Again, they've played 5 games so far in the tournament. Red has played 4, and this is going very deep into the corner. And that will score the second run of the game. And holding up that second is Connor Kale with a stand-up double. By this point in the tournament, both teams' pitching staffs are now in short supply, so you'd like to stick with Kane for as long as you can. They still do have a few other options among their regular pitchers, depending on when you have to make a switch. Kale on second, 2 in so far for Eden Prairie, here with 1 out. It's fouled back to the screen. Ham Lake going 4-0 so far on the season. They started in the tournament. They started with a 9-0 victory over the Rochester Patriots and a big 14-5 win over Moorhead. And surprisingly dispatching Eden Prairie 10-2 before the 4-3 win over Tri-City. So a strikeout there. And there's 2 away to bring up Mitchell Olson. This is back and diving attempt by Nate Fredrickson, and he just missed it. Great effort by the catcher. Nate, Jeff LeMay, and Ryan Nickel are the 3 captains for this year's Tri-City Red team. Tri-City now 28-10 on the season. That includes the sub-state and the state tournament. The 0-1 pitch is fouled away, so King well ahead here. That one just missed, 1-2. Tri-City Red started with an impressive 6-3 victory over Mankato National. And beat Eastview handily 16-9 in a marathon game. That one high and outside, 2-2. And beat a very good Waconia team 4-1 before the loss to Ham Lake. Again, with the pitch count limits, both starting pitchers from Friday are unable to play today, as that one is fair and down the line. LeMay being able to cut it off, but again, a stand-up double as Olson and Kale trade places, and it's 3-0 already. So this brings up Colin Ferris, hitting .211 on the tournament, batting .362 on the Legion season before this. Eden Prairie played their first games over at Siebert Field. Throw down to second, not in time. Good throw by Fredrickson. He caught a man stealing last night. Again, Fredrickson and LeMay both graduated in 2016, but are young enough to where they could come back this year. Trevor Davinsky for Eden Prairie, in the same situation. Slap to center, that's going to fall in for a hit. Throw coming home, it's going to be a little offline. Good tag by Fredrickson, and he gets the out. So a very big out at home plate. Otherwise, this inning would have kept on going, but still a lot of damage done. 3 runs on 5 hits for Eden Prairie. And so Tri-City Red will try and get back in this early, down as Elliott, Paul, and Kale all scored. So the batting order for Tri-City Red is a familiar one. Leading off, center fielder Jeff LeMay, then shortstop Ryan Nickel, batting third, first baseman Justin Langer. Batting cleanup, the third baseman Ross Indelkoffer, then batting fifth, left fielder Ben Jepko. He played some first base last night. Batting sixth is right fielder Eric Holloman, seventh, second baseman Joey Lawson, then the designated hitter John Solfest, batting ninth, catcher Nate Fredrickson. So defensively for Eden Prairie, we have Connor Young at first, Connor Kale at second, Zach Elliott at short, Will Paul at third, Mitchell Olson in left, Mike Espy in center, Colin Ferris in right, catching is Joey Danielson, and again on the mound, lefty Matthew Lamberty. He has not pitched yet in the tournament. He was 2-0 in the regular season and the sub-state playoffs with an ERA of 3.43 and also 1 save. So Laconia, after the loss to Tri-City, beat Stillwater in extra innings in 11. Stillwater scored 1 in the top. Laconia scored 2 to win it. Then lost to Eden Prairie. So Laconia in 4th place. And Excelsior and Stillwater tied for 5th. And as you would expect, Tri-City already getting some people set up in the bullpen. This looks like Adam Davidson and probably Trevor Steffen. You can't afford to let Eden Prairie get too much of a lead. They have been probably the strongest program in the state for both high school and Legion ball for the past 5 years or so. That one outside to LeMay. Foul back. And Tri-City in the sub-state playoffs beat Tri-City Maroon and White Bear, and then ended up losing to Stillwater and then Forest Lake 20-9. Stillwater had a good state tournament all in all. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. Well, the one team that had the best chance to knock off Eden Prairie was Excelsior. It was 4-4 in the 8th. And then Joey Danielson hit his first home run of the season. Great catch over in foul territory. And that's the first out of the inning. Also, Scott Keltoff heading down to the bullpen. Again, he is one of the options for today. I don't think he's pitched as of yet. Well, Steffen pitched a couple innings of relief. So have Eric Holloman. And Davidson has pitched a little. 1-0. One just missed. Ryan Nickel, again, having a phenomenal season. hitting .533, .632 on base, as it's now 2-1. Ooh, outside corner. Here's the 2-2. Slapped by the shortstop and into left field. So this brings up Justin Langer, hitting .333 on the tournament. Red does not have any home runs here in the state tourney. Again, Danielson has the lone one for Eden Prairie. One a little outside. Just missed as well, 2-0. So Lamberty gets set. Let's move over to first. Again, that's much easier for a left-handed pitcher. We're going to have a quick little meeting on the mound. Danielson, the catcher. Again, he was the hero in the win over Excelsior. So here's the 2-0 delivery. Outside again. Sendel-Crawford on deck, one of the hottest hitters in the state. That one's there on the outside corner. And the 3-1 pitch misses inside, ball 4. So now a good chance here for Endel-Crawford with 2 men on. Again, it is a strict pitch count limit. You can finish with the batter. And actually in the case last night against Ham Lake had to pull their starter at 8 1/3 as he was over 120 pitches. Well outside. Considering both teams play an extended schedule, I was going to see if they played this year, and they did back on June 23rd. Runners are both going. Pitches outside. Double steal, and it works. Heads up base running by Tri-City Red as Joey Danielson thought about throwing to second, but then thought better of it. 2-0, and now 2 men in scoring position. High in the air. This is drifting, but it is playable. Pop-up catch dropped. They're going to say it is an out, and the ball was dropped as he was trying to take it out of the glove. Well, a little controversy already as, again, we saw a phantom home run in the game against Eastview. It did not really hurt Tri-City Red. I don't blame Coach Anderson here. Again, it was in his glove, but it sure wasn't in there very long. That's, yeah, I evidently, the base umpire is not going to confer with the plate umpire. That's the plate umpire's discretion as far as if he wants to talk about it, I believe. Now, certainly you'd rather have Endicoffer back at the plate, but they are going to say it is an out. The ball was dropped on the transfer. Nickel does score, so it makes it 3-1. Hit sharply right at the first baseman by Jepko, and that will do it for an eventful first inning. 3-1 Eden Prairie after one. This is continuing coverage of the 2017 American Legion State Baseball Tournament.
Staring contest.
You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Well, we do already have a pitching change as Matt Harold will come in relief for Ty Kane. So Kane, unfortunately, with a tough first inning, that'll be it for the day. He gives up 3 runs on 5 hits, all earned, no walks, 1 strikeout. Harold only pitched 3 innings in the regular season and sub-state and did not give up a run. Kane was one of the more experienced pitchers, and he did well on Friday against Eastview, but unfortunately had a tough time today with a very good Eden Prairie lineup. We don't see too many sacrifice 3 RBIs, but that'll be the case for Endicoffer. Again, a little bit of a controversial call there as drifting well back. He had already made a beautiful play on the one by LeMay. Was Connor Young. So here is Joey Danielson, the catcher. First pitch misses. So this puts Tri-City Red in a tough situation in that you have 8 more innings to go. And you're probably going to go through a good number of pitches. This one popped high in the air. Easy play there for Joey Lawson. That's where having a deep and talented staff certainly helps. Tri-City had 12 different pitchers throughout the season. They're going to be using a good number of them here, you would figure. This is the designated hitter, Trevor Davinsky. He was the starting pitcher against Stillwater and did really well. So 2-0 to him. Now 2-1. Davinsky pitched a complete game. Only gave up 5 hits, 1 run, walked 2, and struck out 11. So he had a great game against Stillwater. Again, it was 1-1, and then Eden Prairie scored 9 straight to blow it open. Very high in the air, ranging in is Langer. Camps under it, makes the play. So quickly 2 away, and now back to the top of the order in Zach Elliott, the shortstop. He had a double to the left center gap, advanced to third on a balk, and then scored on a ground out. Runs across for a strike. Just missing the outside corner. Holloman, Lawson, and Solfest, the scheduled hitters for Red in the bottom of the second. Solfest, the DH. This is looping foul. It's now 1-2. Langer started against Ham Lake. Solfest came in relief and did a really nice job. So they both cannot pitch anymore today, as they both threw enough last night. On one side. Got a big play at the end of the top of the first. Yeah, it was a great throw from LeMay to Fredrickson. It was a little offline, but Fredrickson applying the tag beautifully and got Mitchell Olson trying to score from second, as we now have a full count. This one pulled well foul. The grounds crew here at CHS always doing a great job. They were here bright and early this morning. Just outside, as Elliott does a nice job working the walk. Saints are still on a road trip. I think their last game is Tuesday before heading back here to from the confines of Lower Town, St. Paul. This one hit sharply to short. Nice play and the throw over to second. And good work by Matt Harold to get out of the second. No runs, no hits. Again, the champion of the state's tournament and the runner-up both make it to the regionals next weekend. Actually, I think it starts earlier, probably on Thursday or Friday, as you have teams from around the upper Midwest. That one a little outside. That one just missed. And this is Eric Holloman, hitting 200 on the tournament, 2-0, inside 3-0. Eden Prairie does not have as many pitching options. Jacob Pappas and Ben Shepard would be the most likely ones, but a 4-pitch walk here to Holloman. I was surprised in the Sunday night game, Tri-City actually put on a sacrifice bunt with 1 out to move the runner to third, but unfortunately he was stranded there. This brings up Joey Lawson on base, 375 on the tourney. As Lamberty here for his second inning of work. Third baseman in a little bit, maybe expecting a bunt. Good pickoff move, and Diving back safely is Holloman. Again, in sub-state and state tournament play, you can only DH for the pitcher, you cannot courtesy run, and you cannot re-enter, so the rules are a lot more restrictive. That one across for a strike, 1-1. Outside, 2-1. And Eden Prairie's had tremendous success, which is not surprising considering they have over 4,000 students, both in state and Legion ball. And of course, legendary in football as that was fouled back to the screen. So here's the 2-2. Just low, full count. It's a nice ceremony on Friday night for the 1999 national champion Tri-City Red team. That was one of the last ones that had Mounds View and Irondale together. This is slicing in right field, ranging over, and unable to make the play was Ferris in a good diving attempt. Steve Graisley, who was their best pitcher, 18-2 with 10 saves, which is remarkable. He's the general manager for Tri-City Red and was instrumental in helping put this package together, where Tri-City Red could host. Of course, Gail Collado was as well. Well, outside, back-to-back walks. Good job by Lawson there to work the full count. And now first and second to bring up Solfest. He's hitting 200 on the tournament, 333 on base. So we have a little conference on the mound. Nobody is warming up yet for Eden Prairie, which would lead me to believe that Lamberty's going to be out there for a while. And also the possibility of bringing in a position player to pitch, since you do have the designated hitter. Bunt is taken back on an outside pitch. Ooh, offers again and should have taken that one. That was outside. So it's now 1-1. I think just as I say that, her head down 4 Eden Prairie players down to the visiting bullpen. Looks like Joey Green among others. Joey Green, Jacob Pappas, who we expected, Grant Randall, and Ben Shepard. So that'll take the bunt out of the equation at 1-2. Call, strike, 3. Well, I'm guessing Solfest was expecting something different. This brings up Nate Fredrickson. Now again, even though with 1 out, this might be a bunting situation. We'll see what the play is. It gets by him. Now you don't have to bunt. So a pass ball called on Danielson. Makes it second and third with 1 out. And Jeff LeMay in the top of the order on deck. That one is outside as well. Missing inside, 3-0. You don't want to walk Fredrickson to get to the top of the order. But that is looking like a likelihood. Just hitting the outside corner. I don't think Danielson was expecting it there. Yep. 3 walks in the inning to load the bases, and this now brings up Jeff LeMay. Again, he hit a foul ball that just, I thought it was going to reach the seats. That's why I didn't see anything early, but an excellent play by Connor Young, as he's made 2 of them. As we're going to have one of the coaches come in. Head coach is Scott Hackett. Assistants are Andrew Phillips and John Boutain. From here, I cannot see who's warming up. I would imagine it's Shepard and Pappas. They would be the 2 most likely candidates. Pappas has thrown 13 innings this year, and Shepard 15. But again, each team has 5 regular pitchers that they cannot use today because of the pitch count rules. So Holloman on third, Lawson on second, Fredrickson on first for LeMay. Hitting .313 on the tourney, outside. Outside and high, 2-0. I'd like to see LeMay get a whack at it, but with the wildness of Lamberty, I think you have to wait for a cookie. And that wasn't it. Snap throw to first. Boy, I don't think the first baseman was expecting that. He wasn't near first base. And break for Eden Prairie, and that Young was attentive enough to snag that. Just on the outside corner, 3-1. This one is fouled out of play for a full count. One out, bases loaded here in the bottom of the second. Fouled away again. Nice job here by LeMay to stay alive. Inside, ball 4. He'll get a run batted in on the walk, the 4th of the inning. And this brings up Ryan Nickel. He has the lone hit of the game for Red, although we're only in the second inning. A nice shot between short and third. He then stole third on the double steal and scored. And we are going to have a pitching change. So Lamberty is on the hook for all 3 base runners. And we'll see who comes in here for Eden Prairie, as Coach Anderson is going to have a little offensive conference. This looks like it's going to be Ben Shepard. He is 0-2 on the season with an 8.4 ERA. But again, at this point, your pitching staff is a little depleted. He has thrown 3 innings on the tournament in 2 games with a save, gave up 3 hits and struck out 1. So Matt Lamberty goes an inning and a third. So far has given up 2 runs, both earned, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and 5 bases on balls. So Tri-City down by a run. Now Lawson at third, Fredrickson at second, and LeMay at first. Good speed on the base paths. And the ever-dangerous Ryan Nichol. Outside, ball 1. Eden Prairie is keeping a couple of men down there just in case. I know Pappas is one of them. They're in the inside corner, 1-1. Hey, an actual cloud. Well outside, 2-1. Good cut there by Nichol on an outside pitch, and he fouls it away, 2-2. Hit up the middle. Good diving play by the shortstop. Steps on second for 1. The throw. Good stop by Young. If that had gotten by him, I think Fredrickson would have had an excellent shot at scoring, but Connor Young's made some beautiful plays there at first base. Nice play by the shortstop, Zach Elliott, as he ended up getting up, scrambling to second, throw to first, almost got away, but Connor Young, again with a nice stop to keep it a tie ball game. Outside corner for a strike, here to Justin Langer. Again, Langer had a great regular season and a good state tournament here so far as well. Oh boy, slapping up the middle. That went off the glove of the pitcher, but good job there by the second baseman. And it'll go 1-4-3. Tri-City maybe could have gotten more, but they do tie the game. No runs, 4 walks, lead to 2 runs, as it's now 3-3 after 2. Top of the third, 3-3. As Eden Prairie with 3 in the first, Tri-City with 1 in the first and 2 in the second. This will bring up the 3-4-5 hitters for Eden Prairie. Will Paul, who singled and scored. Connor Kale, who had a booming double down the left field line. He eventually scored. And then Connor Young, who's been playing like Lou Gehrig over there at first base. A little outside. Again, this is Harold's second inning of work. He came in to start the second. Only gave up a walk. On a little outside, 3-0. Cross for a strike. Again, Ryan Nichol will be going to Augustana for baseball next year, and Ross Endelkoffer will be going to Iowa Western. Inside, ball 4. Well, Tri-City Red with 5 walks and Eden Prairie with a couple. Again, with this being the 4th day of the tournament and the pitch count rules, you are having to throw some of your less experienced pitchers here on Monday. And this brings up Connor Kale. It's sharply between short and third for a hit. So now Kale 2 for 2. He was struggling a little bit in the tournament at 211, but he's certainly picked it up today. So this brings up the lefty, Connor Young. And it's across for a strike. This one hit into right. Holloman thought about coming in to try and make a play on it, but instead he'll play it on a hop. And so now the base is loaded with nobody out here in the third. Through the games on Saturday, Mike Espy was leading the tournament with a .667 batting average. That one gets by Fredrickson, and all the runners will move up. On the wild pitch by Harold. Well, Harold had a pretty effective second inning, but you cannot say that about the third. Ross Indlekoffer tied for 8th at 500 with a few other players. Logan Alshire from the St. Cloud 76ers actually hit 2 home runs to lead the tourney. High and inside. So Paul scores, Kale to third, and Young to second. Good stop there by Fredrickson on a tough one, as it's now 3-1. Well, this is unusual. We're going to have a conference while the batter is still up there. Again, Red does have a few men in the bullpen. Now getting loose. And also hustling out there is Matt Larson. Now again, he cannot pitch today. As far as I know, he threw enough in the Mankato game. As he pitched a complete game, gave up the 3 runs, but really pitched well against a very good Mankato national team. Outside corner. My mistake, they had it 3-1 already on the scoreboard. Foul back. That's a moot point now. This one pulled well foul. And it's pulled even further. Into the picnic area. Mitchell Olson again had that big double down the third baseline, which scored a run. He ended up getting thrown out at home on the hit by Colin Ferris. And it's funny, the two managers have real similar outfits with the short sleeve pullover, the white pants, and the red batting helmet. I almost got confused there for a second. Second and third, nobody out here in the top of the third. So I think we're going to have a good number of runs scored here today. Pop up coming in is Endicoffer, and he will make the play. A big out there for Harold. So this brings up Ferris. He had a nice base hit to short left field. Excuse me, short center field. And then that led to the out at home plate. Oh and 1. Ferris hitting .211 on the tournament. No surprise, Mike Espy also leading the tournament in on-base percentage at .733. And also up there is Zach Elliott. 1 and 2. And with on-base plus slugging, which is a really good offensive measure, Espy second in the tournament at almost 1.5. Infield in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So this will bring up the catcher, Joey Danielson. This was the first hitter that Harold faced back in the second. Stolen base leader, I remember from high school, Thomas Bruschi from Stillwater. High in the air, center field, ranging in is LeMay, and he'll make the play. So that certainly could have been a lot worse. 3 base runners reach, and only 1 scores on the wild pitch. So 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Eden Prairie. 3 runs, 1 hit, no errors so far for Tri-City.
It is a first down. It's a 10-yard gain.
Here is Ross Endicoffer, who had a foul sacrifice fly to the first baseman of all things, and the run batted in. As that one by Shepard is across for a strike. Hello? Nice job by Endicoffer to hold up his swing. Yes, it's now 2-1. The games got pushed back a bit yesterday because of that 11-inning affair between Laconia and Stillwater. Outside corner, 2-2. So the Ham Lake Tri-City game didn't start until almost 8 o'clock, about an hour behind. Good cut there, foul to the screen. Again, the championship is scheduled for 1 o'clock, the winner of this game against Ham Lake. Hit sharply to left field, and that gets by the left fielder. A diving attempt by Olson. Endelkoffer will go into second. He's going to hold up at third. Smart move. And a stand-up double. Mitchell Olson looked like he might have had a bead on it. He broke just a hair late, and that might have cost him as it went by him and to the wall. Endelkoffer seriously thought about going for third, but wisely holding up at second as they had a good relay in. And here is Jepko. Ben Jepko hitting .313 on the tournament and hit .365. Very strong in the regular season and sub-state. Eden Prairie 22-9 on the season. Tri-City Red 25-9. That was actually going into play here, so they are now 28-10. So now 2-2 here at Jepko. Anderson going over the signs again, I think. Well, that was a pretty deliberate pickoff move. Again, Endelkoffer holding very close to second base. In the worst case scenario, you'd like to see Jepko maybe hit it to the right side of the infield, and that way you can move up Endelkoffer. And now we have a full count. Beautiful morning here at CHS. Not too much wind to speak of. What there is blowing a little bit in. All right, now it's a full count. Whoever is running the scoreboard has got me mixed up. Swing and a miss. Good outside pitch there by Shepard. So this will bring up Eric Holloman. He led the string of 4 walks in the second inning and scored one of the 2 runs. Inside. Tri-City very impressive on Friday with the 6-3 win over Mankato and then 16-9 in a marathon over Eastview. They were up 11-1. It became 11-8, but then Tri-City broke it open again late in the game. 2-0 here to Holloman. That one was low. Holloman batting .294 coming into Friday's action. It's now 3-1. Shepard did pitch earlier in the tournament, so actually he's pitched on a couple occasions. So they might have to pull him earlier than expected, again because of the pitch count rules. I should say maybe even earlier than they'd like to. Hit sharply. Good stop by the shortstop. Throw to third. Oh, boy. Endelkofer going on the play. And the throw to third base, that was the only play that the shortstop had. And it was close. But evidently, Paul got the tag down in time to get Endelkofer. It's too bad that maybe Ross didn't hold up at second base when it's hit there to the left side, and Ross is not the fastest player on the team. That was the only move that the shortstop had. But they made a good play on it, so now it's 2 down, Holloman at first, and that brings up Lawson. So 2-0 here to Lawson. He also walked in the second. Hit by the pitcher. Good play by the second baseman. And that will do it. As Red threatens with the leadoff double but does not score. It is 4-3 Eden Prairie after 3.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
Matt Harold out for his third inning of work, as it is 4-3 here going into the top of the fourth. This will be the 9-1-2 hitters for the Eagles, Davinsky, Elliott, and Espy. This is hit sharply to left, and that'll get over the left fielder, Jepko, and roll to the fence. I am a little surprised. Boy, that got out there in a hurry. So this brings up the very dangerous top of the order, Zach Elliott. He doubled and scored in the first and walked in the second. That's across for a strike. Inside corner, 0-2. A little high and outside, likely a waste pitch. A bit more outside, 2-2. And SB through Saturday was the leading hitter in the tournament. Ryan Nickel was there right behind him. And SB is on deck here. Just missing the outside corner, and we can have a full count. It's sharply, just foul. Oh boy, was that close. Well, we're already past the hour mark in the game, and again, only here in the fourth. And we have a lot of walks and a lot of base runners. That'll stretch the game out for you. Swing and a miss. Fredrickson will throw to first and just barely get Elliott. And a good recovery by Fredrickson. He is an excellent defensive catcher. But on the play, Davinsky does advance to third. So the infield will again play in here with Espy at the plate. Good off-speed pitch across for a strike. Hit sharply between short and third. I don't think it would have mattered if Nickel was in his regular position. So the second run batted in for Espy as he continues is very hot hitting over the past 4 days. That makes it 5-3 and brings up Will Paul. He has scored twice already. High in the air, medium center field. Ranging back is LeMay, and he'll make the catch. So 2 outs here in the fourth. That'll bring up Connor Kale. He is 2 for 2. A double and a run scored in the first. And a nice base hit single by Endelkoffer in the third. Runners going. Fredrickson with a throw down. One hop. Good backup there by Nickel as Lawson couldn't quite hang on to it. So a stolen base for Espy. That is his 4th on the tournament. They do not list stolen bases from the regular season. I would imagine he's probably the team leader. Hit sharply to left. Ranging back is Jepko, and he'll make the play. Not too far from the warning track. So Kale hit it hard, but at Jepko, and Tri-City Red thankfully gets out of the fourth, only giving up a run.
Here's a first down. It's a 10-yard gain.
Welcome to the 25th annual Rose Fest Parade.
Welcome to this edition of the North Suburban Beat.
Hello and welcome to New Brighton Now. This is the show about the people, places, and events in the city of New Brighton.
So I think Endelkoffer and Kaltoff are 2 of the players warming up in the bullpen just in case. As this brings up the scheduled hitters of Solfest, Fredrickson, and LeMay back to the top. Ball 1. That one's across the belt for a strike. We've had the pleasure here of covering games at CHS for a few years now, since the move over from Midway. Very safe to say this press box is light years ahead of what was there at the old Midway Stadium. 3-1 now to Solfest. Good cut there as Solfest got a piece of it. This one nubbed as coming over as the third baseman. Smart play, and he'll get Solfest out by a step. That's a lot easier play for Paul coming over than it would have been for Elliott. So one away for Nate Fredrickson. Strike one to Nate. Fouled off his foot. There's the sun again making an appearance. Well outside, 1-2. Endicoffer still getting loose, which would lead me to believe. Good job by Fredrickson to just hold up. Oop. Might be coming in the fifth. So then we need a new third baseman. Nice job by Fredrickson to stay alive, fouling it off the light support. And pretty much the same thing. Outside. So a full count here to Fredrickson. LeMay on deck. Well outside, and the guy you don't want to walk gets his second of the day. Looks as though we're going to have cloud cover here for a bit. Nice change of pace. LeMay fouled out in the first on that great play by Young and got a walk and an RBI in the second. And that was the last batter for Lamberty before Shepard came in relief, and he's still out there. Outside corner for a strike, 0-2. LeMay hitting .356 during the regular season. He did just barely hold up. And LeMay also second on the team in stolen bases with 10. Of course, Ryan Nickel, the team leader. And this will be an easy play for the second baseman. So 2 out here in the fourth, and that'll bring up Ryan Nickel. So Endicoffer will jog back in as he is up third this inning, should they get to him. Little outside. And Nickel coming into Sunday, second in the tournament, hitting .636. His on base was tied for the lead with Espy of Eden Prairie. 2-0. That's at .733. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Eden Prairie now leading by 2. Langer on deck. Four-pitch walk to Nickel. That is the second walk by Shepard. We're going to have an offensive conference here with Langer and Coach Nick Anderson. The assistant coaches for Tri-City Red are Scott and Brett Becker, Lars Anderson, and Jake Hanslick. So Fredrickson on second, Nickel on first, here with 2 outs in the 4th. That's a cross for a strike. Langer walked in the first and then was out 1-4-3 in the second as it went off the pitcher's glove. Inside pitch pulled foul. Langer hitting .427 on the season, led the team with 38 runs batted in. And .444 on base here for the tournament so far. Oh boy, called strike 3 on the inside corner, and Tri-City leaves a couple men on base. No runs, no hits. And it is still 5-3 Eden Prairie after 4. This brings up the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Eden Prairie, Young, Olson, and Ferris. As Matt Harold now out for his 4th inning of work. Hoping maybe he can throw one more inning here. Connor Young struck out in the first. He had a line drive single to left center, and then was stranded in the 3rd. An excuse me swing, but right there to Langer, and an easy play. So now Mitchell Olson. Laser double down the 3rd baseline in the 1st. Was thrown out at home trying to score from second to end the 1st inning, and then fouled out in the 3rd. And that's a cross for a strike. Outside, 1-1. Hit sharply to center, but LeMay had him pegged. He just moves back a couple steps and makes the play. Straight away center field. So this is Colin Ferris, the lefty. He had a base hit to the outfield in the 1st and struck out in the 3rd. Bunt. And there will be no play. Boy, that was a nice one. So an infield single. Ferris now 2 for 3. Again, 10 hits for Eden Prairie, only 2 for Tri-City, but they still only trail by 2. one on the outside corner. And at the old Midway Stadium, you used to have trains, and here at CHS, you have planes and now a lot of helicopters. The National Guard has a base there at the airport. Throw down to second. Tag out! Boy, actually, that turned out well, that the throw kind of sailed a little inside. Beautiful tag by Nickel, getting the runner Ferris just before he slid in. So Danielson will lead off the sixth as the third out on the base paths. And good defensive work again by Tri-City. Frederickson especially has been stellar for the past couple of seasons. High, ball one. Nobody left in the Eden Prairie bullpen. Tri-City still has some people out there. Again, we'll probably be using them sooner rather than later. But Harold has done a very nice job in relief, giving up just the 2 runs in 4 innings. As BP scored 3 in the first, 2 and 1 here to end the Coughlin. It's sharply to second, and an easy play there for Kale over to Young. It was a little surprising. Normally Ross a pull hitter, but he is now 1 for 2 on the day, and that'll bring up Ben Jepko. Jepko played first base in the winner's bracket final against Ham Lake with Langer on the mound. So now 2-0. Many nice features here about CHS Field, especially the open concourse. You can walk all around the ballpark and still see the game as you're going, except if you're behind the batter's eye. Jepko with a 4-pitch walk. The 8th walk of the game for Tri-City, but only 2 of those have scored so far. Usually percentages are a little better than that. Jepko on first, 1 out for Eric Holloman. He walked in the second and hit into a fielder's choice in the third as he takes a strike. Now 0-2. When Ham Lake beat Eden Prairie 10-2 in the semis, Ham Lake scored in 6 of the 9 innings. Actually, it would have been 6 of the 8. They were the home team. That one misses and gets by the catcher, and so strolling into second on the wild pitch is Jepko. And then Eden Prairie storming through the losers bracket, beating Excelsior and Laconia both on Sunday. Tri-City played 2 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, and then 1 on Sunday. Well outside. Joey Lawson on deck. This one pulled foul. And Grant Randall will go get that. He's one of the bench players for Eden Prairie. Called strike 3. That has happened for the third time now today. Two outs, runner on second. It is sometimes tough when you're hitting when there have been so many walks. This one hit over the second baseman and into right field. Rounding third, heading for home is Jepko, as bobbling it in right was Ferris, but he would have scored anyway. As that one just over the second baseman, Kale. Nice at bat for Joey Lawson to make it 5-4. Two outs, Lawson on first for John Solfest. I guess that one a little high. I think that was a strike to Holloman. This one hit slowly down the third base line. Easy play over, although the throw wasn't exactly on line. It's the second time that's happened to Solfest. Tri-City does get one run on one hit, however, so they close the gap to 1. It's 5-4 after 5. This is CTV Sports coverage of the 2017 American Legion State Tournament. Inning number 5 coming up for Matt Harold, as all in all doing a good job in relief, only giving up the 2 runs. He has struck out 1, walked 1, given up 5 hits, but the damage has been mostly limited. This is the scheduled 8-9 one-hitters for Eden Prairie. Again, Danielson was hitting in the 5th when Ferris was caught stealing, so he'll start up here again with a clean slate. Davinsky, the DH, on deck. He scored the latest run for Eden Prairie, 2-0. Davinsky had that booming double over Jepko and then scored on the hit by red-hot Mike Espy. Inside. I would think they'll have pitching change sometime this inning, and that doesn't help as a 4-pitch walk. So this brings up Davinsky. Trevor hitting .263 coming into the tournament. He got his first hit of the tourney earlier today. High in the air. Coming in is LeMay. No tag at first base for obvious reasons. So back to the very dangerous top of the order in Zach Elliott. He doubled, walked, and struck out in the 4th and was thrown out on a real nice play by Fredrickson on the 2-3 putout. He was very quick behind the plate. Hit sharply, coming in is LeMay, and he makes the play. Strong throw back to first. Good job there by Langer to just knock the ball down. Good positioning there by LeMay as Elliott hit that one well. 2 outs, top of 6 for Mike Gespy, the best hitter in the tournament so far. And an RBI in the first. Hit hard into a fielder's choice in the second, and an RBI single in the fourth. This is crunched, but going back is Jepko in the left center field gap, and he makes the play. So a couple of very hard hit balls, but nice defense by LeMay and Jepko, and Harold goes 5 and really helps out the Tri-City bullpen.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Eden Prairie in sub-state action. This one hit slowly. Good play by the third baseman, and over in time to get Nate Fredrickson. Eden Prairie beat Holy Angels 4-0. Then Chanhassen 5-0. And a big win over Edina 11-1. And beat the Hornets in the championship 13-3 by the run rule. So they really didn't have much trouble in their sub-stage. Chaska was the 1 seed, but they ended up losing out to Edina after they did beat Eden Prairie once. Each sub-state kind of has their own setup. It's 1-1 here now to LeMay. And the plate umpire is going to say that he went. So it's now 1-2. Pulled foul. Nice stop there by Coach Anderson. Eden Prairie was 3-0, but yet they had to play Chaska, who had lost once. Some sections have really bizarre setups. Fouled at the plate. Good job by LeMay to stay alive here at 1-2. It's a nice setup on the berm behind the left field fence and the bullpens. A few fans there enjoying the shade. Swing and a miss. There's LeMay uncharacteristically 0 for 3. 2 outs, and that'll bring up red hot Ryan Nickel. He got a base hit and scored in the first, an RBI fielder's choice in the second, and walked in the fourth. He would love to get Langer and Endelkoffer up with some men on base at some point. That hasn't happened too much today. Fouled well out of play. 5-4 Eden Prairie here in the bottom of the 6th. 3 runs in the first for Eden Prairie, which knocked Ty Kane out of the game. 1 each in the third and the fourth. Nickel, slow roller to second, quick throw over, and they get him by a step. So a nice 1-2-3 inning by Shepard, as he's gotten 4 outs in a row. Still 5-4 Eden Prairie after 6. This is continuing coverage of the 2017 State American Legion Tournament on CTV Sports. 5-4 Eden Prairie, top of 7. This will bring up Will Paul. He is the only gentleman to score 2 runs today, once in the first, once in the third. He has reached twice. Fakes a bunt, draws it back for a strike. Base hit in the first, walk in the third, and a shot to medium deep center field in the fourth. 0-2. And just outside. I would imagine they let you use the phones from the dugout to the bullpen in case you want somebody to get warmed up again. Nobody there for Eden Prairie. Tri-City has a few players out there, including Davidson, but they haven't warmed up for a while. As it's 1-2 here to Paul. And that one misses inside. So again, we go 9 here. It's 7 during the regular season. That one high. Full count. And then it's 9 innings starting in the sub-state playoffs. Tri-City came in third in one of the best sub-states by far. Good play there by Langer on a hot shot. As Stillwater finally got some revenge and beat Forest Lake. And Tri-City came in third. Tri-City Maroon gave Red all they could handle in a suspended game before losing on a walk-off grand slam, of all things, by Ross Indlekoffer, his second home run of the game. He knocked in 6 of the 7 runs. Ball 1 here to Connor Kale. He has hit the ball well all 3 times. 2 for 3. High in the air, ranging in is LeMay. He will make the play. Two outs here in the top of the 7th. So Harold certainly has done excellent work in relief for Kane. Red has left 7 men on base, which has hurt them a bit. Eden Prairie has only left 4 on. Outside. He just held up on an inside pitch. Gets by Fredrickson, so it's now 3-0. Mitchell Olson on deck. He had a nice double in the first and a hard line out to center field in the 5th. Young is 1 for 3. And he takes a called strike. Inside, ball 4. The third walk given up by Harold. And this will bring up Olson. Connor Kale is far and away the leading hitter through the sub-state playoffs for Eden Prairie, hitting .589. 8 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers. This one hit to the gap in left center. Jepko with a diving catch. He cannot come up with it. The relay throw coming in. It's a little high for Nickel. And the throw at the plate, and he slides under the tag. Jepko just barely. Oh boy. Nah, I don't agree with that at all. Jepko dove for that one. And that would have been a very difficult catch. He almost came up with it. I'm sure he thinks he should have had it. And the relay throw to Nickel was a little high. He wasn't able to really turn around to get it in as quick as he would like. And that ended up leading to the run scored. So it is now 6-4. Popped up, and this will be playable for Rindlekoffer in foul territory. He will make the catch. So 1 run on 1 hit. Again, I think Jepko really gave it his all and just couldn't quite hang on to it. And it leads to a run for Eden Prairie here in the top of the 7th.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
And Shepard, again, who's pitched well here coming in relief. He has the only save for Eden Prairie in the tournament. It's quickly 0-2 to Langer. Outside, 1-2. Good cut there by Langer as he fouls it away. Slowly foul. And only 3 hits for Tri-City Red. 1 by Rindlekoffer, Lawson, and Nickel. Play by the shortstop, throw over, just in time. Rindlekoffer 1 for 2 with an RBI sac fly. To the third baseman of all things, but it was very deep in foul territory. The ruling was that Connor Young, the first baseman, had pulled the ball out of his glove on a transfer instead of a drop, which you really could have called it either way. Rindlekoffer hits it high to left center field, but this is holding up nicely for Espy, and he will make the play. And so this brings up Jepko. Swing and a miss. A beautiful pitch there by Shepard. Outside, 1-2. So that'll even the count. Holloman on deck. Good job by Jepko to work the full count. Called strike 3. He thought it was outside. That's the fourth called strikeout on Tri-City Red, something that has hurt them throughout the game. No runs, no hits, as Eden Prairie's extended their lead 6-4 after 7.
It is a first down. It's a 10-yard gain.
Six for Eden Prairie here going into the top of the 8th. 3 runs in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and a big one in the 7th. It was ruled by the official scorer an error. I'm giving it a double because, again, yes, it went off his glove, but it was a very hard hit ball to the gap. High throw, good tag by Langer. Oops. Accidentally had that for the other team. That's Joey Danielson with the ground out. He's 0 for 3 with a walk on the day. And so this will bring up Trevor Novinsky, 1 for 3 with a big double in the 4th. And he scored on the hit by Espy, who has been the best hitter in the tournament. High in the air, center field, ranging over is LeMay. Is that one held up just long enough? He had to go from slightly in left center over to right center. He made a nice play. So 2 away here in the 8th. Ow! Off of Harold. Hopefully he's okay. So I think we're going to have a pitching change. We were going to have one at some point anyway. There's thankfully a trainer right out there as Harold took that off of his leg. So just making sure that nothing's broken, I'm sure. And he is going to be all right, it looks like, which is a very good sign. Again, Matt Harold doing excellent work, coming in relief to start the second inning, and he pitches through until the 8th. You figure with as dangerous a team as Eden Prairie, you're going to give up a few runs here and there anyway. So Ian Bond is going to go out to left. And he's a really big kid for a freshman. Ben Jepko is going to come to first, and Justin Langer is going to switch to third, as Ross Endelkoffer will come in relief. First time I remembered to do my defense in pencil. And Jepko played first base on Sunday evening against Ham Lake in the winners bracket final. Endelkoffer pitched 4 innings. So if what I heard is correct, Ian Bond will be up third this inning for Tri-City. It'll be Holloman, Moss, and Bond, excuse me. I am a little surprised that Tri-City decided not to go either with Holloman or Davidson or maybe even Kaltoff. Stefan is another possibility, but I am guessing that he will probably, if Tri-City were to come back and win this, he might start the championship. But Tri-City certainly has some work to do. Elliott on first. Thankfully, Harold, it looks like he's okay. 2 outs here in the 8th. And that's quickly across for a strike. Outside corner, 0-2. So we're past the 2-hour mark here. The game started at 10. I would imagine the championship will start a bit later than scheduled 1 o'clock. Waste pitch there. And swung pull softly foul. Ham Lake surprisingly 4-0. They went 13-10-1 during the regular season. Joey Messier hitting .500. Connor Milton hitting .444. Runner going, that is out of play. Sam Riola, .450 on base. Boy, he sure is a heck of a pitcher as well. This is, again, Mike Espy coming into today, the leading hitter in the tournament. This one looped to right. Ranging over is Holloman, and he'll make the play. So no runs, 1 hit for Eden Prairie. 12 hits on the game. Elliott with 2. Kale with 2. Olson and Ferris each with 2 as well.
Here's a first down. It's a 10-yard gain.
Welcome to the 25th annual Rose Fest Parade.
Welcome to this edition of the North Suburban Beat.
Hello and welcome to New Brighton Now. This is the show about the people, places, and events in the city of New Brighton.
This one outside to the leadoff man, Eric Holloman. Made a nice catch to end the top of the 8th. 2-0. That one low, ball 3. Four-pitch walk. So a good start here for Red in the 8th. This brings up Joey Lawson. Walked and scored way back in the 2nd, grounded out in the 3rd, and had a nice RBI single in the 5th. That was the last run so far for Red. Bunt quickly to the 3rd baseman. Throw over is well high, and this goes out of play, so the runners will advance. So a sacrifice and an E5. And so now 2nd and 3rd, the first error on Eden Prairie. As it's 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And again, this brings up Ian Bond, who came in to play left field in the 8th. Hitting .226 on the season, 2 doubles and a couple triples as well. This one hit high in the air. Ranging back is the left fielder Olson. He'll make a catch right by the warning track, taking up from 2nd, but staying there is Lawson. And a sacrifice fly, run batted in. Nice job there by Ian Bond. So it's now 6-5. And here is the catcher, Nate Fredrickson. Again, I'm not a real big fan of this play, but they're going to do it anyway. The sacrifice bunt with 1 out. So 2 away. Lawson to 3rd, and that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Jeff LeMay. And as much experience as Fredrickson has, I'd like to see him get a shot at the plate with 1 out. But this is something they have done before. as that one misses to LeMay. He is 0 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. Back in the second. Inside. And he pulls that one foul. Swing and a miss again as Eden Prairie escapes the eighth, only giving up one run. It was second and third. Nobody out. 2 sacrifices, and that's 1 run. It is 6-5 Eden Prairie going into the top of the ninth. This is CTV Sports coverage of the 2017 American Legion State Tournament. So again, the defensive changes isn't in the eighth. Bond going to left, Langer going from first to third, Jepko going from left field to first base, and Indelkoffer out for his second inning of work in relief. It's slowly to the first baseman, Jepko, and he will hustle over and make the play on Will Paul. So Paul, 1 for 4 with a walk. He and Eric Holloman, the only 2 men that have scored twice today. So this brings up Connor Kale, 2 for 4. He's hit the ball hard 3 times today. So LeMay certainly playing him to pull. And Kale hitting .589 on the season. Those are outstanding numbers. Again, that was through 26 games. Sharply to center field. So Kale now with 3 hits. And this brings up dangerous Connor Young. He is 1 for 3 with a walk. Struck out in the first, base hit in the third, ground out in the fifth, and a walk. And as it turned out, the big 6th run in the 7th. That one just missed. And Ross Indelkoffer 8 home runs during the regular season and sub-state. And he'll be going to Iowa Western Junior College starting in the fall. And it's 1-1. Of course, he'll play some baseball down there as well. Just missed outside, 2-1. And Tri-City right where they want to be in the batting order, Nickel, Langer, and Indelkoffer for the bottom of the ninth. Kale on first, 1 away. And that one's inside. Throw to first. I don't think Kale is going to venture too far off of first base. Hit sharply to short. Nickel will easily turn that one himself. Good positioning there by Nickel. And the first double play of the game gets Tri-City out of the top of the ninth. So we'll see if they make the call to the bullpen, and they are not. Inning number 8 for Ben Shepard. My goodness. Now again, he did pitch twice earlier, but my guess would be those were both on Friday. So you can go up to 120 pitches maximum. You could finish your batter if you go at 120, and then you have to be pulled for a relief pitcher. But Shepard, even though he did not pitch much in the regular season, 0-2 with an 8.4 ERA, sure has done well today. And he's done well against these 2-3-4 hitters. Extremely well, actually. So far, they're 1 for 8. But Tri-City can change that around in a hurry, and leading off, Ryan Nickel, as he and Mike Espy have been the 2 leading hitters in the tournament. All 1. Low in the dirt, ball 2. Again, it would surprise me if Shepard, this has got to be his longest outing of the season, since you only normally go 7 innings anyway. I'm a little surprised he's out here to start the 9th. And it's quickly 3-0 to Nickel. He reaches for the 3rd time today. Of course, Nickel, one of the better base stealers in the tournament. As this brings up Justin Langer. Over 3, he had a walk and a stolen base back in the 1st. That's when Tri-City pulled off a very nice double steal. The bullpen is quiet for Eden Prairie, so it looks like Shepard's going to go the distance. Inside corner for a strike. Unless they bring in one of the position players in relief. Runner's going. Threw it down to second. Slide under the tag. And the 2nd stolen base for Nickel, and a big one. Langer called strike 2, so it's 0-2 to him. But the tying run there at second. Foul back. Sometimes you would figure on maybe a no doubles defense, but that's really not the case here. The left and right fielders both a good bit off the line. Hit sharply to the gap in right center field. Scoring easily is Nickel to tie the game. Holding up at first base is Justin Langer. And it's 6 apiece. You can't say enough about the relief work of Matt Harold and Ross Endelkoff for scattering 3 runs in 8 innings. Yeah, to be honest, I'm surprised that Shepard started the 9th. As we are going to have a pitching change, even though they weren't really warming up here in the 9th. But they're certainly loose. They're pitching out there for the better part of the later innings. So that'll do it for Ben Shepard, but what an effort by the relief pitcher, as he goes over 7 innings, only giving up 3 runs so far. He struck out 6 and walked 5. And this is Jacob Pappas. So Pappas on the season, 0-1 with a save. ERA just north of 7. He has just pitched 1 inning so far in the state tournament, and it was an eventful one as he gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, and 3 walks. So he'll be called into duty here with the winning run at first base. And Ross Indelkoffer, 1 for 3. Inside corner for a strike. Nickel reached, stole second, and then scored on the RBI single by Langer to tie the game. It's the first time we've been tied since the second inning. Fouled well out of play. So Indelkoffer behind here. Whoa, high and inside. Well inside, 2-2. Call, strike 3. Indelkoffer seems relatively stunned. But that has happened a lot to Tri-City Red tonight. That is the 5th called strike 3. Eden Prairie doesn't have any. Hit sharply to second, and the throw to second, and there is the out. The shortstop was coming across the base. That was not intentional. He was sliding in. Was Langer. Well, again, Indelkoffer, he was behind in the count, 1-2. Took a questionable pitch for a called strike 3. And it's going to put Eden Prairie in a decent spot here to escape the 9th and send it to extra innings. Jepko at first on the fielder's choice, and this brings up Eric Holloman. Outside, ball 1. He held up, and it is outside, ball 2. If we go extra innings, it will be interesting to see what Tri-City does as far as pitching. And the Coffer has worked an inning in the third. As it's now 3-0. Inside corner. High in the air, very deep left field, going back, away back, it's gone! 2-run homer, Eric Holloman. Another walk-off for Tri-City Red, and they advance to the state championship with an 8-6 victory over Eden Prairie. Eric Holloman absolutely crushed a 3-1 delivery into the bullpen in left field, and a walk-off home run, something they've done a few times this season, as Eden Prairie will come in third place here in the State American Legion tourney, and Tri-City Red advances for a rematch against Ham Lake here coming up a little after 1 o'clock. Again, for reasons unbeknownst to us, it is one game winner take all for the championship, so that certainly benefits Tri-City Red here in the championship game. 6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error by Eden Prairie. 8 runs on only 6 hits. 4 hits. No, 5 hits, my mistake, by Tri-City Red as they advance to the championship game with an 8-6 victory over Eden Prairie. Good afternoon, everybody.